Okay, folks, welcome back. And we've got a mess on our hands with a bunch of tokens, and we've got stuff that's really taken over this area. So we need to take that out of control. We need to control this and put all these colors. I did do some painting this morning, and that's what we're going to be trying to finish up. And get all of these colors that have just contaminated my workspace. So we've got the Airfix Pack 40 crew that they're not very good figures, but they'll work. They're not very exciting figures. And one of my concerns with them is that it sure looked like they had helmet covers on them. And the last thing I want to do is paint helmet covers on German figures, because I've never done Zeltbahn have helmet covers. These are just regular Wehrmacht guys. So if they got any kind of helmet covers and we're in a temperate environment, it's going to be Zeltbahn, which is their, their shelter halves or shelter quarters or what have you. That's kind of a unique type of camouflage on them. We're going to have to do a cleanup on this tomorrow. Now, let me put my figures over here. Fresh from the battlefield, the Germans got massacred. Oh well, there's a lot better things you can do than say, hey, the Germans won. Oh, we're going to have a storm now? German uniform. Bronze and old gold. This is down here. So the game's going pretty well. I've been pretty happy with how that's turned out so far. We just can't wait 20 years to do it. We'll have to start at the bottom of the barrel again, like we had to. And start to remember how to do everything. Scunny skin tone. And we're back to not being able to say that word again. Sunny skin tone. All right. Let's get this out of your view. You don't want to see that. And okay. So here is the Pack 40, or one of the two Pack 40s we've been working on. And here's my 4 Brits as well. So this is the crew here for the Pack 40 from Airfix. And I'm actually pretty happy with how they turned out. It looks like they're on the right track. I've never done Zeltbahn camo before, and I'm actually really happy the way it turned out. Oh, and I got a disconnect thing. Here we go. Let's plug this in. We don't want to lose power and get disconnected in the process. There we go. You like the AT gun crew had some errands this morning, but caught the session in the afternoon. Yeah, did you see how these guys turned out? The Zeltbahn on them? It was, yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Amanda. Come on. Actually, this guy turned out so well, I used it as my profile picture. What's going on with I'm getting a lot of kickback. There we go. Really doesn't look half bad. Not bad for a first attempt. Now, these guys definitely look like they've got some kind of a helmet liners or something like that. There's like wrinkles and stuff in it, like on the edges. So I'm like, well, I wish they would have just been gray, but they didn't do that. So we're going to paint these bases in chocolate brown. And we're going to use a new chocolate brown. I'm tired of fighting with that one. This should be chocolate brown. It is. All right. Oh, we got to lose all our jewelry. Okay, and let's get us one of these. And we're going to need a little bit of water. Yeah, I missed you this morning, man. I missed you. And where is the tool? Peterson, the crew chief, so to speak, of the Pack 40. I didn't have really many high hopes for these figures, but I guess they turned out a lot better than that. Mainly because they had no equipment on them, and they didn't need to have a lot of equipment on them, but they at least needed to have like a sidearm, you know, like a pistol or something. Nothing. And like I mentioned this morning, these guys are not going to be exclusive to the Pack 40. I have a Pack 38 that's kind of waiting in the wings, and these guys will double up as the crew for that as well. I'm not worried about like, well, that shell doesn't look like it's, well, that shell doesn't look like any shell in real life, so, you know. These guys can go in all kinds of different directions. I actually didn't think I was going to end up using this gun crew. Joke's on me. Yeah, what I really liked about this gun is putting the little ranging things on there in the red and white. That added a little pop of color that it needed. Well, I hear storm. If it ends up storming real badly, I guess I'll have to sign off. But I'm going to make an attempt to get this done today. At least paint the base color brown. Because unfortunately I can't do the other colors until this color is dry. So the next face of battle skirmish field, maybe I'm going to do these Shermans are coming down the road and they got to deal with a Pack 40, and let's just see how that plays. Not exactly a scenario, but just an exercise, which is what I think most of these games are going to be. Is they're going to be exercises. Really, the one I just did was kind of an exercise in futility. I think we'll do the anti-tank gun next. Or mortars or something like that. I found the grenade rules were kind of clunky, or maybe they're not that clunky after. Not after. Yeah, well, what's going to happen is I want the Shermans to win. Because I want this thing to get overrun. Not only do we want to see some Shermans burn and see what happens to the crew inside. But I want there to be enough Shermans that they're going to say F this, and they're going to go charge wherever this is and overrun it and see how that works. So you get like 2 for 1, you know? So it's probably going to be 1 AA tank gun and a whole troop of Shermans. Well, the grenades, you missed me looking a bunch of stuff up. I just didn't want to do it wrong, and I probably did something wrong again tonight, you know, but I want to try to, hopefully every time I play, I'm minimizing those more and more. I think the game actually moves pretty quick if you're decisive about what you're going to have your guys do. So I don't really want them to do anything stupid. You know, I'm not going to play like, oh, well, we got to win at all costs kind of thing. Like, yeah, they're you know, they're real people there too. They're not going to be like going into some headlong charge. So I think I'm going to order some 3D printed vehicles though. I think I'm going to take a chance. So hopefully there'll be a chance to do an unboxing in about a week or so. I think I am. Those are like $5 a piece. You get some U.S. tank destroyers, I think, is the way to go on that. And maybe I'll be disappointed what they look like, but maybe I won't. M10s, an M10 and probably an M10 and an M18, one each. Because unlike other things, it looks to me like some of the 3D prints are better than others, and this one particular vendor is pretty inexpensive. And it just depends on, you know, I wish they were resident, not PLA. That's the problem. The problem isn't the detail of it; it's that you can see some of the lines in some places, and I really don't want to spend, you know, 2 hours cleaning up a vehicle. You know, because my time is worth something too. And if you spend a lot of time cleaning up a vehicle, you know, then you would have been just better off. Like, why don't you just like buy a vehicle that costs a little bit more money and you don't have to put any cleanup into it. I think I'm going to do that anyway, so let's put it that way. But I think the games that I've run, the buildings that I've done with the fake floors, that's worked really well. That's worked really, really well. Um, and having a diagram on there of where the windows are when you remove the top is handy. You know, so you place them in the correct place. The trees worked fairly well. It would work really, really well if I can find some discs. In other words, washers with no holes in them. But they also need to be inexpensive. So this guy is Fest. Ammo Fest. Because he's the loader. And he's laying down on the job. Literally. So a lot of this stuff's worked really well. The bricks are incredible. The bricks are just, you can't do it without bricks. It would look hokey as crap. This is going to take some trickiness to get in. We don't want to get any paint on the figure. Yeah, the bricks and sticks. Yeah. And I'm gonna mix a couple other things in with it once I get a hold of them. But it might be a couple of months before I do that. I don't want to mail order them. I want to get them in person. They're available in Orlando at this store that I didn't get them when I was there. I'm gonna get some Woodland Scenics Talus to kind of mix in there with it as well. So it's not all red brick. We'll have some, pieces of drywall or something along those lines that the talus represents. Okay, so he's done. So I'm actually going to stop. It's a really short session, but I wanted to get this painted. I don't have the names for these. We need to get the names for these Brits and paint the stands, and I'm going to do that at the same time that we do the gun crew. But these guys should actually look pretty decent. And I think that's what we're going to do next time. Is we're going to have a line of tanks, and this Pack 40 at short range is going to start opening fire on them, and we'll see what happens. Okay, folks, thanks for stopping by once again, and we'll see you guys on the next one.